Alright, something looks new. We'll talk that in a separate video, but not in this one. But in this video, we'll learn about how the UI design principles helps a UI designer to be there on their first steps and how that helps in your daily design processes. Learning these principles will make you a better designer, and using those principles will help you achieve the best looking UI you can make in this video. First thing is contrast. Once you start using contrast in your design, then what happens is you create some dimensions, you create specific readability structures within this. You can use colors to give contrast, you can give attention grabbing capabilities to that element of a design while you are doing a contrasty type of an approach towards it. Obviously, it depends upon the brand and what you're building for. For example, if you take the top banner which I made for myself, it's almost very opposite of what we can use of contrast using in black and white. Simple thing, it gives your eye, catches your funda, and it gets your mindset into this. Using a small elements of colors also, like the red ones, give you contrast in your design. Next thing is typography. Using a subtle typography, using a readable typography is our preferences while you're building a product for a brand. Using some non-readable text, for example a curvy text, is not suitable for a brand when you're doing something very subtle. So the readability point of view, we should choose a very good and not so heavy, very subtle to the pleasing to the eye, and the readability structure of that typography will help you make and pick the product in case of consumption of text. Consistency is making the structure right. Once you start using a header like this, once you start giving the body text like this, once you give the CTS or call to action, what we say, then we understand that this is one structure we should follow, and we follow the same structure for example in this manner, in an opposite manner. So the text, description, then the images. The next one, the images, text, and then again. So this also breakability in the consistency will also bring consistency to your design. Mind that. Next thing is colors. The choice of your color matters what kind of an approach you are bringing to the brand. Choosing of colors, understanding what colors to choose with that colors while you're building that UI is much more important than using a more rational set of color sets. How to use those colors scientifically by understanding how the color wheel is, I've explained that in a previous video. Link in the description below. Go check it out and you will have an understanding how colors works and how color harmony works, so that you can choose your best colors in the next project. Visual hierarchy. What does it mean? Hierarchy means you set the top set, bar set, and it goes from top level to down level. But how does it help in this? For example, if I see this is a visual hierarchy which breaks the main conundrum of it. The heading, which is written in red, is more of a smaller text font, but the description is given in a more text size full of manner in a bold format. And the buttons are not that subtle to the eye. It's not the subtle, it's very subtle to the eye, but it's not in that of a format where people will take traction towards it. What does it make? Once you give emphasis to one part of a text grouping, then what happens, it helps you to become the hierarchy of it. Then you start building the hierarchy and how to visualize one structure of a group to it. Once you start grouping your text to a different format where it groups and clubs together, then what happens, you conceive to see that structure in a more concise and a grouped message kind of a way. This helps in creating hierarchy within an application or a website or any kind of a product you're trying to build. So the next thing is spacing. Spacing helps you to distinguish between what kind of a design structure you're going for in case of consuming 3 different types of data within one. If I space my elements in this manner, it's very confusing for me what to look for within this grouping or structure. But if we space it out like this, then we understand the differences of how the groups and how it is easily consumable to the eye. Then we can distinguish what's in header, what's in content, and what's the part where we can go into clicking. This helps you into building a more cleaner looking UI, understanding more about white space. The next thing about it's white space. Using white space in a very smart manner helps you to open up your design in a very large canvas. You can focus your users' emphasis on one part of an application in a very structured way. For example, if I'm seeing this, there's a lot of white spaces what I see around here, here, here. But what you see is a hierarchy, which also helps in understanding the spacing. A lot of spacing, but I can understand this is one part of a group I want to focus myself to. Then this white spaces will help you emphasize. It's basically to lead the user's eyes to that part of the structure, and using it very efficiently makes sense. Some people do overuse it, some people do very less thought about white spaces. The last point is proximity. Proximity is grouping of informations together so that it achieves to be part of that one structure. For example, if we have this and this together in a line format, I can understand this is too close to that and we are not understanding that there is a difference to it. But what if I move this? I understand that fine, I take this color and use this color to duplicate it. Use this pen. Now it gives me definition of how grouping of that proximity is. Increase the spacing a bit, then we can understand, okay fine, this grouping and this is different for me to read, this is one structure different from it. Every UI principles are linked with each other. What my point is, use this UI principles to get your next project uplifted in a much more structured manner. This design principles helps you on a daily basis to come across many UI challenges when we face while we design some products. These are the tips and tricks we use. I think this tips and tricks should be used by every designers. Some people don't follow that I see, they just go blindly and understand how these things are aligned to each other to give you a better experience and a better looking product. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Leave some comment down below so that I can talk to you guys, and don't forget to like this video. If you really liked it, please might share with someone. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.